This video is sponsored by Keeps.
If you're watching this 50, please don't strike this video down like you did the last one I did about you beefing Rick Ross. I don't know if it's you or somebody in your team, but if you've seen this video and you're thinking of doing that, please watch the whole thing first, as this one is probably going to make you look a lot better than the last one. I'm not going to be using any copyrighted material like your music or your films, and this video is mainly going to be concerned with publicly available social media posts which I will be analysing under fair use. Even with all of that in mind, 50, if you end up watching this and you still feel some type of way, please accept this apology in advance. I'm sorry, Fofty.
They're fearing 50 all around you. The broadcast marks are on the run. He keeps harassing them on Twitter. They better pay no ifs or buts. 40 cents, he wants your cash. He'll hunt you down because he's Fofty, the bounty hunter.
In 2018, former singer, former actress, and current sentient mannequin on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Tierra Marie was caught with egg on her face. By which I mean man egg, by which I mean jizz. She had jizz on her face. With all of this coming after an ex-lover of hers supposedly hacked her phone and leaked explicit shots onto her own Instagram. And so after this scandal hit, Marie came out looking for sticky, white-hot justice, claiming that her ex-boyfriend, Akbar Abdul Ahad, had leaked that photograph onto her Instagram in a revenge porn attack, with Marie releasing a statement reminding everybody that revenge porn is indeed a crime. Now, this led her to while out and smash up his car. Whoa, baby, calm down. What do you think this is, a blue-faced video shoot? Thing is, on the flip side, let's not forget that she is a reality TV star, and some have suggested that it might have been her that leaked the nudes herself just to get attention for a plotline on the show. And even her co-star, Milan Christopher, claimed that Marie knew about the sex tape before it had leaked. But anyway, this isn't about the tape, this is about 50. And it turned out that 50 Cent was actually friends with Marie's disgruntled ex, the guy that was in the tape who Marie was claiming to have leaked it. And I guess as some sort of sticky show of solidarity, 50 reposted that picture of Tierra Marie with her face covered in testicular icing, along with the caption, "Get the strap." Now that is funny. And although I obviously can't show you this picture, here's 50 Cent's next post, moments after having had that photo duly taken down by Instagram, suggesting that he was going to leave the platform. Yeah, if Zuckerberg isn't going to let me post pictures of famous women with jizz all over their face on here, I am gone! Anywho, in response to seeing 50 Cent reposting these lewd photos of her on his Instagram, Marie then announced that she was planning on taking legal action against those that were seeking to publicly humiliate her, releasing a statement through her attorney Lisa Bloom and announcing that they would be holding a press conference together to discuss the legal action being taken against 50 Cent and Abdul Ahad. An announcement to which 50 replied with finesse, posting a picture of Marie's attorney's own mother and the caption, "Lisa, stop, don't make me tell your mom." This man is a corporate savage, people. Now eventually an emotional press conference did take place, where to be honest, Tierra Marie almost seemed like she was holding back laughter, trying to think of an SFW way of describing 50 Cent's picture that he posted of her with a face full of jizz.
Right after that, he posted a sex tape and an obscene photo of me.
And if that wasn't even hilarious enough for you, apparently in court, Marie even tried to claim that 50 Cent had purposefully used a black and white filter when he posted that picture on Instagram to increase the contrast between her face and the jizz. A hilarious tidbit, but let's remember that the focus of this case was all about sliding the blame over to 50 Cent for reposting these already leaked lewd images of Tierra Marie.
His good friend, 50 Cent, posted the obscene photo of me on his Instagram and said, "Get the strap."
Now, you can understand from a finesse's viewpoint why Marie was pursuing this legal action. She was most likely trying to get one of those same checks that Rick Ross's baby mama got back when 50 Cent leaked her sex tape during the Rick Ross beef. Hell, I mean, Marie's lawyer even said that's why they were suing him on Twitter. However, 50 was not scared by Marie's legal threats, and he continued to troll her publicly. And unfortunately for Marie and her lawyers, it would turn out that the facts in this case were very different from the previous one that 50 lost. And before things were even resolved at the trial, Tierra Marie's legal team dropped her, something which 50 of course was eager to make fun of on IG. And obviously with the lack of solid representation in the courtroom, this left Tierra Marie positioned to take a spectacular L in front front of the judge, with the blast reporting that the judge had dismissed all claims against 50 because apparently 50's defense that the video was already widely available on the internet when he posted that picture, and the defense that the picture didn't actually show Marie's genitals or her performing any particular sexual act seemed to satiate the judge. So not only did Marie lose her case, but she was also forced to pick up 50 Cent's legal tab to the tune of $30,000, which in some ways is even a small W for her, seeing as 50 had apparently spent over $161,000 already trying to defend himself against her frivolous claim. And from here, things went from bad to worse for Marie, going from a lowercase L to an uppercase L to one of those gargantuan L's off of the Hollywood sign. Because as we now know, the only thing worse than beefing with 50 Cent is owing him money. Now, after a bit of time passed, Marie ended up going onto the Breakfast Club to complain about 50 being on her ass and explain her side of the story. An appearance that I would probably say wasn't very helpful at all as far as her putting her side of the argument out there, because it essentially didn't teach us anything new, except maybe the fact that Charlemagne likes to exploit vulnerable women for entertainment on his show. But we knew that anyway. And so following this appearance, 50 Cent remained on her ass, reposting the clip of her talking on the Breakfast Club and saying he wants his money.
Lack of empathy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that,
it develops from so much fuck shit.
So why don't you teach him that?
Oh, no, he's not there yet. 50 not.
I just want my money, bitch.
What else am I supposed to do? Run? Lie down? Let him roll me over with a match?
Fight back about what? About money you court told you to pay me?
It does.
Because your fucking sex tape came out. How the fuck did I get in that? I'm not in the tape.
So it's like...
And of course, he continued to berate her on Twitter. As time went by, Tierra Marie remained firm that 50 Cent wasn't getting a cent out of her, clapping back at him on Instagram, posting a picture of him dressed as a police officer from an old movie to mock him for being a snitch, along with a caption that suggested that he liked fingers in his booty. Hey, I hear that when girls slide an extra digit inside of him, he becomes 51 Cent, eh? And of course, continuing to mock him for being a snitch by posting a picture of him with his then surrogate son, Snitch 9. She also mocked him for his bankruptcy proceedings, but essentially this trolling would make absolutely no difference to 50 Cent, who was still hungry for his bounty, with 50 even being granted an order for Marie to show up in court, to open up her books, show her assets, and allow 50 to work out how exactly he was going to get that cash. And although Marie kept dodging him, 50 even went as far to have her serve papers on camera at an airport in March.
Miss Thomas?
Yes.
I'll give you these papers.
No, thanks.
You're
No.
served. You're served. It's public property. You're served.
But unfortunately, while 50 was playing chess, Marie just continued playing clout checkers, making more misguided moves that would only dig a deeper hole for her to dive come face first into. In April, she came out with a diss song aimed towards 50 called I Ain't Got It, which honestly wasn't that bad. The track obviously included some pointed lyrics that referenced the debt, and to promote the song, Tierra Marie even stooped so low as to post publicly on social media asking 50 Cent to drop a verse on it, and continuing to mock 50 on social media, suggesting that he was Floyd Mayweather's belt boy. To this, 50 was primed and ready to drop savage replies. First off replying, suggesting that the courts will get the message from her social media antics, posting a picture labeling her as a cum dumpster. Classy. But it was at this point that 50 Cent's business brain kicked into gear, because he realized that in spite of the fact that Tierra Marie was selling I Ain't Got It merch, she had unfortunately failed to trademark the phrase I Ain't Got It. A near fatal lapse in judgment which 50 was primed to capitalize on, finessing this oversight into a giant W by immediately trademarking this phrase and preventing Tierra Marie from making any money from it. Quickly launching his own I Ain't Got It merch collection, and coming out to say that if she doesn't take hers down, he's suing again. And I've got to say, the savagery of this move still hasn't expired, because to this very day, IAin'tGotIt.com still redirects to the G-Unit merch store. Which leads me to the natural conclusion that the G in G-Unit must stand for genius. Now, 50 continued to clown her on IG, saying that he is the law, and Marie continued to troll by paying 50 cents at the end of April. And for the record, that 50 cent Western Union transaction cost her $5 in fees to even send.
I want to send a Western Union. 50 cents. Okay, then 50 cents for $5. I'm sending it to Curtis Coffee Jackson. 50 cents. And here is the info.
50 naturally clapped back, saying that this was blatant disrespect to the courts, also helpfully adding that he didn't recognize her without the spunk on her face. Savage. And ultimately, by July, no significant collections on this bounty had been made, only causing 50 Cent's rage to rise further and further. For a while, there was a rumor that 50 Cent was pulling strings behind the scenes to try and get Marie thrown off of Love and Hip Hop. And then clickety-clank, the courts awarded 50 Cent another $4,000 to put in his piggy bank due to Marie still refusing to pay up, with her apparently attempting to block this move based on 50 Cent's ongoing harassment, which duly failed. Probably didn't help her case claiming that she was being harassed by 50 when she was out there dropping diss songs and videos of her trolling him at Western Union. Now, during these financial hearings towards the end of that case, Tierra Marie claimed to be broke. And I'm no big city lawyer, but I believe the legal term is big old broke. She continued to claim that she's not financially stable enough to pay 50, which 50 says is complete BS. And by January 2020, 50 Cent had still gone unpaid, with him beginning to make moves to try and reclaim his money straight out of her Love and Hip Hop checks, outing her for earning $5,000 a show and saying that he was going to get that cash directly from Viacom. Then in April 2020, announcing a tax lien against her to try and collect, going as far as to say that she was actively trying to conceal her assets to prevent 50 collecting his money. Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle broke? And well, as of April 2020, apparently Tierra Marie is even on the run for a $5,000 bench warrant stemming from avoiding paying up on these debts, which I guess means the real bounty hunters are going to be on her ass. But unfortunately, despite his very best efforts, this bounty goes unclaimed.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
I love Chris Rich.
I'm not ready to lose my hair, so I'm gonna use Keeps just to keep it there. Don't wait, get it done while there's time to spare. Preserve your hairline now, fam, don't despair. Did you know that 2 in 3 guys experience some form of hair loss by 35? Ooh. When I heard that fact, I nearly cried. Then I heard about Keeps, and now it's the vibes. Look, use it at home, no trips to the clinic. Wow. Delivered to your door, so the service is terrific. Good. Prevention is key, so don't delay a minute. And 100,000 other men trust Keeps with it. Keeps! I'm not ready to lose my hair, so I'm gonna use Keeps just to keep it there. Don't wait, get it done while there's time to spare. Preserve your hairline now, fam, don't despair. If you're noticing that you're losing your hair, do something about it. For a limited time only, go to keeps.com/TLR or click the link in the description to get 50% off your first order.
Alright, who even is Randall Emmett? Well, here's a film producer probably best known for putting together the mega flop Gotti with John Travolta. He's also been a producer on 50 Cent's Power, as well as his upcoming BMF project. Emmett is also engaged to Lala Kent, an actress and regular on the reality show / budget knockoff of the Real Housewives, Vanderpump Rules. She's frankly a fine piece of ass who would be way out of Randall's league, if not for the fact that she was completely insufferable.
So you're not friends with her because she's kind and sweet? 1000%. You just need Beyonce's. I just need Beyonce's around me all the time.
Now, long after this whole beef went down, 50 Cent actually explained where this complex mega debt came from.
We were actually partnering in Cheetah Vision Films.
Okay.
We made profits on the film, but he was positioning himself publicly as my partner.
Yes.
But he was receiving a salary.
Okay.
So out of the profits that we actually made for the company, it was about $1.3 million that he had owed, and he paid. A portion of it was paid out of his portion of his production credit for Power, like it's directed straight to me. But he didn't actually give me anything. And I was approaching BMF, he was a partner on the BMF series also. And I'm like, if you don't give me something, I'm gonna pay myself back before you get a chance to pay me. So send me something.
So we know that Randall had some money outstanding on 50's books, but the way this info came out publicly was pretty explosive. One night, 50 Cent spotted a clip of Randall's other half, Lala, on Vanderpump Rules. She was bragging about all of the fancy shit that Randall buys her, specifically saying at one point that he bought her a Range Rover the day after they first had sex. Now this obviously rubbed 50 up the wrong way, seeing as that's his money she's siphoning out of Randall's dingus in Range Rover form. And so he reposted it on Instagram along with a very mocking caption, essentially saying that Randall is big simpin' spending cheese. This provoked a very salty response from Lala, saying that when they were out for dinner together, 50 was begging Randall to put one of his talentless bitches in one of his films. Not very friendly, Lala. 50 clapped back to this, saying that he don't beg for nothing, and replied to other comments below calling Randall a sucker. And yes, we'll be seeing how much of a sucker he is shortly. Now, after running her mouth and catching some salty replies from Fiddy, Lala clearly couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen, and so came out to backtrack on her comments, reaching for any excuse she could find to try and win this argument. In this case, masterfully spinning sucking off a film producer for a Range Rover as some kind of giant empowering act for the Me Too movement.
My fiance has been there for 50 in really dark times, but the other thing was that 50 took a clip of me talking about what I do behind closed doors with my fiance and used it to diminish the validity of the Me Too movement. That I will not stand for.
Yeah, and if you go by that logic, Lala, Harvey Weinstein is a regular Emmeline Pankhurst for putting so many women in the position to profit off of their knuckle shuffles that they were only going to give out to less powerful and less ugly men for free. And so after getting aired out by this airhead on social media and getting increasingly frustrated with not getting his money, a day later 50 Cent publicly calls out Randall Emmett for owing him $1 million. But this wasn't just any public shaming, no. 50 Cent took the disrespect to another level, sharing private DMs between him and Randall, where Randall desperately grovels with 50, pathetically apologizing and going as far to say that all of the stress from 50's bounty hunting was giving him a literal heart attack. And it was also in this exchange that Randall uttered the now iconic typo, which would be immortalized forever on from this moment as 50 Cent's bounty hunter nickname. I'm sorry, Fofty. Fofty. Fofty! He even printed them on t-shirts and sold them. He ended up making $300,000 selling Fofty shirts. Fofty! And well, in those messages we can see that Fofty immediately replied with threats of physical violence, saying that if he wasn't paid, he was gonna whip his head, boy, as well as asking if Lala was even aware that her hubby owed Fiddy $1 million, suggesting that Randall was the one putting her up to the digital shit talking, and reminding him that the whole reason that they went to that dinner in the first place was so that they could discuss Randall's pick for a director for the project, somebody who we'll be talking about later. Now, 50 did eventually announce after this public airing out that Randall had indeed paid him $250,000, but he said the same thing to Randall as he said to many others. Money by Monday, and even offered him the Pop Smoke special, suggesting that he would kindly put Randall's Rolls Royce on a truck and accept that as a down payment. But that $250,000 clearly wasn't enough, because 50 continued to berate Randall and his missus publicly, and demanding money by Monday in a hilarious post depicting 50 lurking behind Randall's shoulder. All this trolling clearly wasn't doing Randall's nerves any favors, as he continued to post pictures of him in the hospital after buckling under the stress of Fofty's loan sharking, which of course provoked even more mockery from Fofty himself. And from there, the memes kept on coming, with Fofty even editing Randall's Wikipedia page to reference the debt. And well, the thing about public shaming is it always works. And so 2 days later, 50 Cent announced that he had been paid in full, allowing Randall to walk away into the sunset, legs unbroken, with Fofty wishing him a blessed day. 50 and Young Buck have been beefing since way back in the day when 50 booted him from G-Unit. And ever since then, 50 has been on a rampage, mercilessly berating Buck publicly and even blocking him from releasing music. But it would be in February 2019 that the Buck and 50 beef would specifically attract the debt-collecting attention of Fofty. Seemingly out of nowhere, Buck would call out Fofty publicly, suggesting that he was responsible for taking all of Buck's music off of iTunes and sending a cease and desist letter to his distribution company. And it's at this point that Buck would publicly ponder the status of his G-Unit deal.
It's come to my knowledge that a cease and desist was sent out from G-Unit Records to a certain distribution label dealing with my music. I think me and the fans want to know, am I an artist still on G-Unit Records? Because if that's the case, don't you think I need to go ahead and complete what's ever on my contract? If it is a contract, if I am an artist on G-Unit Records? Up until then, box of chocolates dropping Valentine's Day. Ladies, get it together. And y'all help me out with this because I'm trying to figure out, am I an artist on G-Unit Records? Who knows?
A couple months after this, Buck goes buck wild on IG, saying that he wants out of his G-Unit contract, asking Fofty to let him go.
You trying to sabotage me, pull my music down, send ceases, desists, do weak ass shit behind my back and try to keep me tied to a contract. If you such a real, why don't you let me go?
But in response, Fofty was back at it again, sharing the removal notice for Buck's video on his Instagram and saying, "Money by Monday."
And I'm gonna need the money by Monday.
Buck immediately clapped back, pointing out that Fofty had forgotten to take down his other video. Meanwhile, in response to Buck's financial issues becoming public, a GoFundMe appeared seeking to raise $300,000 for Buck to escape from the clutches of Fofty's record deal. And while it's unclear whether or not Fofty himself had anything to do with setting up that GoFundMe, it was certainly clear that he wanted to push and profit from it, as he immediately came out dropping a t-shirt for sale with Buck's GoFundMe printed on it. And a month later, Fofty was digitally stomping Buck out for all to see, posting clips of young Buck's 2018 Breakfast Club interview, suggesting that he had paid Buck's taxes 2 times, and saying he still owes money which he wants by Monday.
I always done got a hold of the paper and put it up in something throughout my whole life.
Man, I gave this nigga the money,
you know,
man.
I come off
nigga millions.
That thing's 0.00000 millions. I came back to 50 like, yo, bro, did you give me the right amount? Word, like, did you make a mistake? And he laughed at it like, yo, that's yours. So
But they didn't tell you about taxes.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Man, everybody know they gotta pay fucking taxes, man.
You forgot to tell me half.
Man, fuck that. I want my money Monday.
Now, a few more non-bounty related shenanigans went off between 50 and Buck around this time, which I'm not going to get into. But ultimately, Buck continued to clap back at 50, saying that his days are numbered. And not long after that, Buck dropped his forgettable Foofy Freestyle, a 50-cent diss track recorded over Drake's Duppy Bee. The track referenced 50's association with 6ix9ine, called him out for using ghostwriters, and made fun of his poor relationship with his son. And Buck followed that up with the Story of Foofy diss track recorded over Jay-Z's Story of OJB. 2 tracks which to this day are pretty unavailable because they've both been taken down by a copyright claim. Because the way that labels enforce copyright on YouTube these days, it pretty much means that it's impossible to drop freestyles and remixes over famous instrumentals. Which, to be honest, is just kind of a big fat L for the YouTube hip-hop culture, to be honest. Goddamn labels. Anyway, from here, Fofty clapped back at Buck on social media with more derogatory posts, but for the longest time it looked like young Buck had never paid up. And apparently eventually Fofty got tired of Buck running his mouth about the situation and ended up suing him for defamation, preventing Buck from talking about Fofty by name in his final rant.
You can't unfollow me and block me. Talk to me. No, sucker, I'm on your head, sucker. You gonna give me my money, sucker. Your defamation of fucking character threats don't mean nothing to me, nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
Now, there is a lot more to the Young Buck 50 Cent beef, which I'm not going to get into here. And if you're looking for a great in-depth analysis of some of the stuff that's gone on between these two, I would definitely recommend checking out some of the videos on the Diverse Mentality channel on YouTube. But as of March 2020, it seemed like Buck was filing for bankruptcy in order to avoid paying this debt, before getting out of jail a few weeks later and claiming to have finessed his way out of paying this debt with the help of his lawyers.
So I even got to a point where I even tried to pay the nigga for something that I know I didn't owe. Well, I said, well, you know what? I'll give you half of the $300,000 and the other half in 30 days, my nigga. He come back and add 50 more thousand on and say he want me to sign over my whole catalog. To be honest, I didn't file no bankruptcy technically to get out the contract. I filed the bankruptcy like, look, if I owe you, nigga, show me where I owe you.
Jackie Long is an actor well known for his appearance in the movie ATL. He later appeared in a litany of rap videos and eventually landed lucrative roles on numerous shows like Real Husbands of Hollywood and Games People Play. And he's actually friends with 50. They'd even been play-hating on each other as early as 2017.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Jackie Floyd. People know you because of Floyd, Jackie, you bitch.
If that's what you want to think, you motherfucker. That's what you want to think. Go ahead.
Get that shit out of here.
50 actually claimed that he was owed $250,000 after these two were apparently gambling together at the casino, and Jackie was holding some money for Fofty that was never handed back. I mean, I'm not really surprised Jackie Long is short cash. His IMDb page hardly shows off the most illustrious acting career. I mean, the closest this guy ever gets to being a baller is voicing one in GTA 5. Now, after Fofty's public allegations, Jackie alleged that he had paid up, to which 50 claimed Jackie had paid just a little bit, suggesting that interest was still due, whilst hilariously pointing out that at one point, Diddy wanted to kill Jackie Long. an apparent reference to a 2010 incident where Diddy had threatened to two-pack Jackie Long after rumors emerged that he had piped down Diddy's ex Kim Porter. I'm only joking, of course, Tupac's not dead. Anywho, from here, Jackie continued to post on social media, suggesting that he didn't owe 50 any money. To which 50 shared a clip of Jackie speaking on his IG, denying that he was broke, with 50 reacting via voiceover, asking why would you post something like this if you've already paid up.
I know everybody been on this Instagram and all the social media stuff y'all been seeing, saying 50 saying I'm broke, I owe him money.
I never said that, Jack.
First of all, let me get y'all to the real story with all that bullshit he talking about. Years ago, literally years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6.
It wasn't that long, Jack.
We in the Palms Casino gambling. All right, 50 won something. He leaves, come back, he give me a bag, say, Jackie, hold this. I don't even think I even know if the motherfucker won. He just
you know I won, Jack.
I looked at his 50 bag, so I'm like, I ain't gonna look at the nigga bag, it's his bag. He said, hold it. I hold the bag, we get back to the hotel. He tripping, talking about 3,000 is missing.
Where the money, Jack?
$3,000 is missing. And you doing all this shit, Five?
From there, Jackie kept it moving on IG and stuck to positive vibes, and 50 confirmed on Instagram that he had received some money. But they continued to spar back and forth, with 50 saying to Snoop Dogg in the comments that he'd lent Jackie $250, and Jackie had tried to slide with giving him back $247 as if he couldn't count. This is 50 you're dealing with, not Floyd Mayweather. And so Jackie replied in a taunting manner, making a post in front of one of his own billboards, saying that his new nickname is 3K. But that didn't satiate 50, who continued to clown Jackie by sticking his beak into social media posts from Ray J and Nick Cannon, with Ray J posting a pic in the club with Jackie Long, to which 50 replied, followed by his own post dissing Ray J for letting Kim K run off with a bag. Nick Cannon also posted about it, having originally commented on Jackie's post telling him not to let 50 bully him, and then chiming in with another picture of him and 50 wearing big jerseys, claiming to be glad not to owe him money, to which 50 replied roasting Nick Cannon on Instagram and telling him to stay off of his posts. From here, things died down a little bit until July, when Jackie announced that he'd gotten a new show with Angel Brinks, to which 50 decided that this meant he was entitled to some cash too, reposting a picture of that show announcement and asking for money by Monday. Jackie of course hit back saying, I already gave you that little money, and telling 50 to keep off his page, to which 50 retaliated with class, pulling up in person outside Angel Brinks' store, which unfortunately would be the last piece of lore connected to this particular bounty, but since we confirmed that it had already been collected, it's a certified W for 50 Cent. Now this one was a quick and surgical collection from 50. Omari Hardwick, budding actor and hotshot over on 50 Cent's Power since 2013, apparently borrowed 20k from 50, but apparently had the good sense to pay him back promptly to avoid the bounty hunter coming and knocking.
He loaned me one summer, like 20 G's. He said, I can't have my number one effed up. So he owed me 20,000. And Jay, as you know, a fellow Capricorn, right? So we sat there, pragmatic, logical. You know how we are. We don't fuck with money like
your
that,
wife.
right? So then, so Jay and I was like, nah, you can't. Like, you gotta pay. And I'm like, I'm paying him back.
Rotimi is a singer and yet another actor who appears on 50 Cent's Power. Apparently in 2015, he was actually in a contract with 50 Cent's G-Unit Records that was terminated prematurely. Apparently at the time, 50 told Rotimi that he could get out of his deal, but there would be business to handle. And even when he popped into the Breakfast Club, Rotimi claimed not to owe 50 any money back from the days when he was signed to it.
Did you ever borrow money?
No, I was an artist to 50, so it's the same thing.
I just want to make sure you don't owe anything.
I made sure you got his money back.
Does that scare you though when you see how he treats Young Buck? Young Buck's his artist too. Does that scare you? Like, God damn, if I get on this man's bad side.
Nah, I'm not worried about that at all.
But when Rotimi's chart top in Walk With Me dropped, 50 came crawling out of the woodwork to say, hold on, where's my bag at? More specifically, 50 accused Rotimi of owing 300k, reposting Rotimi's artwork with the devilish caption, walk with me, I'll walk with you to the bank. Rotimi posted a video reply, which 50 Cent immediately replied and reacted to, saying that now he is number one, he gotta pay.
So I feel like I gotta address this, man. So niggas calling me talking about I owe 50 money.
You do owe me money.
Listen, bro, I don't owe 50 money. The thing is,
you independent now.
Number one, I just bought a crib.
That's right. You owe me 300,000.
everything. So the fact that I'm hearing this, man.
Oh, you in Fort Lee, nigga?
Why wait till walk
This
on me
nigga in
is
Jersey
number
now.
one on the R&B charts? Why would you wait till my
That's
project
when I
number
want my
one
fucking
on the
money,
R&B charts?
nigga. You number one. Now you could pay me my money.
You know, so crazy. So I just wanted to address it and keep it light, but that's crazy.
You with Ghazi now. Do I need to call Ghazi direct?
And 50 also said in his caption that he wanted to punch Rotimi in the nose. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had me some of that big Fofty energy. At this point, former Fofty punching bag Jackie Long chimed in saying that Rotimi is probably gonna get killed off this season because of how much hassle Jackie got even when he only owed $3K.
Hold on. I done see some shit right now. It's making me laugh. Whoa, my nigga Rotimi. Hold on, my nigga. Hold on, Rotimi. 50 say you owe him $300K, my nigga. You owe this nigga 300,000 pennies, my nigga. Like, hold on, my nigga. I owed the nigga 3K. That mean you died on the show this season, my nigga. That's definitely mean you died on the show this season.
And hell, at this point, you knew it was bad because even Snoop Dogg stuck his nose in, saying that he would pay off Rotimi's debts just to make sure 50 doesn't kill him off on Power.
I'm gonna pay you what Rotimi owe you, cuz. Cause I don't want him to get killed on Power. I think you're gonna kill him next. Cause he owe you money. Don't kill him. I'm gonna pay him for you. How much he owe you, cuz?
Now, a day after all of these headlines hit, apparently Rotimi changed his tune and revealed that he had paid up $100,000 in an interview with TMZ.
50 believed in me in 2014, gave me a deal under his project, under his G-Man. So at this point, we didn't agree on the single Love Rhythm. I felt like it was the one. He felt like I should have gone with another record. So I asked him, can I get out of my deal? And he said, yes, I'm not going to hold you back, but there's business. So what that is, I paid an upfront sum and everything else will be through mechanical sales of royalty and everything. Again, we talked about it today, and instead of waiting for royalties, because it is my brother, instead of waiting for royalties, and I am able to pay, I gave him $100,000 so we can just be cool.
Oh, really? Well, you paid him $100,000 today?
An interview which, of course, Fofty reacted to, along with an accompanying caption that seemed to suggest that he had been fairly broken off his bread.
This way, do you owe 50 Cent $300,000?
So let me explain the whole situation.
Oh, that's not at all.
No. So basically,
Good Lord, old heads rejoice, because Trap Lord Ross is finally talking about somebody who doesn't have a little suffix in their name. Rap game veteran, 2 Chainz' fat uncle, and owner of the puffiest nips in the rap game, Biz Markie, apparently knew Fofty from way back in the day in the 90s and even the late 80s. And apparently, one time hanging out back in the day, they had been to a Chinese restaurant together. God, remember Chinese restaurants? Those are the days, weren't they? Anywho, with a memory like an elephant, it turned out that Fofty remembered getting the check in those days and never getting paid back. TMZ apparently caught up with Biz Markie in a DC airport where they asked him about his debt with Fofty.
I knew 50 from early 90s, 80s. And we went to the Chinese restaurant one time. And he bought the food, and I owed him.
And it would turn out that he had apparently paid this back in full in the form of food stamps, with Fofty tweeting that he had run into Biz Markie backstage and duly cleared the debt. Biz Markie shared the same picture, and to his credit, he didn't seem too bothered by this shakedown, saying that if you borrow, you gotta pay it back. And maybe some of Fofty's other ops should heed that advice.
He got mad at me, and I didn't want to really go to court, so I had to pay him back. I had to pay him back in food stamps, you know what I'm saying? If you borrow, you gotta pay back.
But anywho, this left Biz Markie firmly off the hook, escaping Fofty's wrath. Now remember when Fofty was talking about being out for dinner with Randall Emmett and Lala Kent, a meeting which he said was about Randall asking if film director Eif Rivera could direct one of their projects? Well, it would turn out that Eif himself was only a few months away of incurring the debt collection wrath of Fofty the Bounty Hunter. In a since deleted post, 50 Cent tagged former op and famous Rain Machine owner-operator Fat Joe to say that Eif Rivera owed him a bounty, along with a picture of Eif wearing the chain of Fat Joe's unfortunately titled crew, Terror Squad. Fat Fat Joe clapped back saying that he had given Eif the money to pay back 50 and now Eif owes them both, with Eif later revealing on IG that Fofty had lent him the money to make a short film, whilst also suggesting that 50 Cent is definitely like the character Kanan on Power. Former Lil rapper and frequent skycapper Bow Wow was the next victim of Fofty's strong arm. 50 actually came out to say that Bow Wow stole $1,000 in ones from him at the club when they were out partying with Trey Songz and Fabulous. Fofty aired Bow Wow out at the time in a series of posts that were since deleted, and later on elaborating exactly how this debt came about in more detail in a full interview, suggesting that he was partying with Bow Wow at the strip club and that he'd given Bow Wow money to throw at the chicks, which his broke ass had taken home with him.
This happened, Andy. We went out to Atlanta. We enjoyed ourselves. Strip club, we enjoying ourselves. We had a bunch of money around, so we throw the money because you don't want to be there and not have money to throw.
Of course.
And then
It's not
later we see on his Instagram, he's like snapped his own, like, yo, somebody better come get this.
Somebody got to come get the rest of it.
You gave him money to play around in the club, and he took it home with him.
You're home with him. I'm like, you bum, you can't go nowhere with us.
Right.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, I don't want you around there no more.
Hey, that's probably the only time Bow Wow has taken anything home from the strip club, if you catch my drift. Anywho, 50 said to Bow Wow the same as he'd said to many others, money by Monday.
And I'm gonna need the money by Monday.
And Fofty also sent some heat towards Jermaine Dupri, admonishing him for bringing Bow Wow's bum ass to the club in the first place. And he also hit Bow Wow crony DC Young Fly to make sure that he wasn't in on this finesse.
DC Young Fly was right there with Bow Wow. We gotta make sure that this nigga wasn't in on this shit, Jack.
Hey, I'm gonna call him now.
Call him. We can get to the bottom of this shit.
The number you dialed is
Nigga, this nigga done changed his fucking number.
Bow Wow clapped back, calling 50 a capping ass old man, and making the fatal error of suggesting that he was getting TV money and movie money before Fofty.
Man, I can't believe this man capping like that, man. Come on, man. This man knew I came. He know I came in with my own bag. I ain't got to ask nobody for nothing, man. We on TV tomorrow night. We TV. Growing up hip-hop Atlanta, man. We getting this movie money before him, TV money before him. Bitches before him.
He then counts out $1,000 in sweaty used ones and gives 50 instructions on how he can get it.
Yeah, no, it's nothing. 1,000, bro? Okay. All right, Phil. You know you the homie, man. 1,000. All right. Let's do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here it is, man. If you want it that bad, call Ant. You know that's bro. Ant know how to, you know how to contact me. You know how to contact him, and it'll be to you in a matter of minutes, man. It's nothing, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing. That clip.
50 clapped back, reposting the same clip with an explosive caption, laughing at Bow Wow's ludicrous claims about getting movie money before him, suggesting that Bow Wow called Ciara a bitch, and telling him he should send that money and make it happen. And lo and behold, Bow Wow's boy Ant got in touch with Fofty and made sure that tab had been paid, with Fof honestly sounding a little bit disappointed that he didn't get to put the beats on Bow Wow.
Yo, so I just got off the phone with my man Ant. He called me to tell me Bow Wow reached out and actually gave him the money, so we're cool and shit, but I wanted to do something to that nigga. I felt like the nigga stole my motherfucking money. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, stole the money for the dances and shit. This nigga picking the money up, taking it home with him. But now that I got my money, I'm wishing Bow Wow peace, happiness, all the blessings that could come to him. But y'all live below, you know, you feel all kind of pressure. You know, but motherfuckers on this page like, yo, you owe 50 money, motherfucker, you better pay. Shit, like, I know he's like,
Now, 50 Cent has always been a vocal supporter of boxer Adrien Broner.
And I know all y'all against me. Him right here, Leonard.
Yeah, they against you.
They with this bitch ass nigga. Leonard a bitch ass nigga too.
They trying to knock you off.
You don't disrespect me like that. Man, shut up. You ain't with me. You ain't with me.
I'm
you
with
Jesse.
I'm with Mayweather Promotions.
You with, oh yeah. You ain't with me. I'm a real one. I'm a real one.
You understand now, Eif?
Yeah, all right. Shut that soft ass shit up.
And the best man
Shut
to
that
win.
soft ass shit. Shut that soft ass shit up.
Shut that shit up.
All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got the. Man, shut that soft ass shit up.
Shut that shit up.
How about this?
Fuck that. Get the strap.
If you're victorious Saturday night,
I'm gonna be victorious.
what's the future?
I know they all against me. This what they want. They want AB. They want AB to go out.
It's time to go to war.
They don't want me to be. They don't want me.
You better win. I bet my money on you, Eif.
They don't want me to be APs.
I lose that money, I ain't fucking with you.
This particular bounty started all the way back in November 2018, when 50 announced that he had bet money on Broner to win his fight against Manny Pacquiao. Something that Broner even commented on way before the fight.
50 Cent posted, if you lose, you fuck up his money.
He got money? I mean, all right.
There you go, Black that king. There you go. He's betting on you, he said. He's just giving
No, 50 Cent, no, that's the only way.
Now, in the run-up to the fight, 50 Cent was doing his usual trolling routine, posting a picture of Broner in a festive mankini on Christmas Day, a hilarious picture which was even shown to the Pac-Man himself, to which he hilariously responded by doing nothing at all.
Bro, look at that.
Haha. Anywho, Fofty had more shells in the chamber for Adrien Broner, following up that hilarious Xmas disrespect by posting some sizzling foot pics of Broner and roasting him for training with his shoes off. And from there, Fofty posted further words of encouragement, but it would turn out that this encouragement offered as much support as that festive mankini that Broner was wearing, because AB duly got slapped around in that fight and lost to Pacquiao, as was announced by the only ringside announcer with more stage presence than Michael Buffer, Big Draco!
Pacquiao won the fight? Pacquiao? Won the fight? Yo, AB called me, bro. I just lost 100K. Yo.
Now, after the fight, Broner seemed so disappointed by this public L that he seemed like he was about to hang his gloves up for good and go back to the bando.
So fucked up, boy. Make a nigga want to sell bricks all night, man.
In response to this, Fofty wasted no time, immediately commenting on Broner's loss on his way out of the venue, wearing a mink coat that I can only assume was leftover wardrobe from the PIMP video.
Go past his mom. From that fight? So he felt like he won that fight because he wasn't hurt? But I wanted to see him let his hands go more.
Absolutely.
And I had an argument with him before, so he'd see it and he may even be mad at me and say, fuck you, 50, you put up that meme weird, because I put up a meme.
I saw that, we all saw it.
But you know what I'm doing.
From there, Fofty later clowned Broner on Instagram in a since-deleted clip, because in the post-fight interview inside the ring, Broner still claimed victory, despite the fact that he had literally just lost in front of everybody.
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him.
And a few months after the fight, Broner publicized the fact that 50 had blocked him on IG, saying that he needs to borrow $1 million. Well, 50 clapped back, reposting Broner's comments on his own IG with the caption, F you, AB, suggesting that the reason that Fofty had blocked Broner was because that he was pissed that he had fucked the money up by taking that L in the ring, before going on to share a picture of AB's mugshot and a caption saying that he was yelling at AB on TV when he was fighting, but AB didn't listen, continuing to say that he no longer messes with AB until he gets a dub. Now, AB clapped back at 50, saying F you, offering the middle finger and a fight, as well as saying he ain't got nothing for Fofty the bounty hunter. He went on to taunt 50 on social media numerous times, including dancing in a subway whilst taunting 50 Cent, duly throwing 20 racks in the club instead of paying 50 Cent, and following that post up with another post saying that he was going to throw 20 more racks in the club that night and he wasn't giving 50 any money on Monday. And well, unfortunately for Fofty, this was the last we would hear of that bounty. But hey, at least for once in his career, Adrien Broner finally gets a W. Right, this one's a breeze. T.I. signee, 5 Mics, lost a bet with his label boss for a rack. And so when Fofty was hanging out with T.I. and got wind of this, T.I. enlisted his bounty hunting skills to collect.
Let's see where you at right now. Let's see where you at right now. 1,000 by July 4th. 1,000. Okay.
Sunday means you're only a day away from Monday.
Man, you ain't got what.
And we want the fucking money come Monday, 5.
Or else. And I'm gonna spend your money right now. I'm going to borrow $1,000 from 50. Can you give me $1,000?
Absolutely, I'll bring it to you.
Give me $1,000. They give me $1,000. And guess what? You get your money when I get mine.
That's right, so now you owe me $1,000 after I give me $1,000, and I'm gonna need mine by Monday.
Recording a viral clip with Fofty saying today is Saturday and he's got until Monday to pay that bounty.
Good day, everyone. How are you doing? I am just bringing it to your attention that it is now July the 6th. And I gave you 2 days for a grace period just because I had to get my shit together. I was having a good time, but 5 mics. There's an app check for you or a paycheck for me. Thank you.
So 50 gave T.I. his money and claimed to be collecting the bounty from 5 mics on his behalf. And to his credit, 5 mics clapped back on Instagram asking Uncle Murder for 50 Cent's Cash App details so he can pay up. And so from that, I think it's safe to assume that T.I. made the right choice getting Fofty involved and the Rubber Band Man got his paper. Unfortunately, one man wasn't quite as lucky. Wheelchair-bound NCIS actor Darrell Mitchell accidentally rolled across 50 Cent's path at the worst possible time, leading to him getting immediately shaken down in a scene that proved once and for all that Fofty is indeed the most savage bounty hunter in the game.
Nah, I've been running, I've been in 2 shows on my NCIS. Yeah, I'm doing my number, but listen. Yeah, what's up, man? No, I got the money fit. All I had to do was go to ATM. I got you. Matter of fact, I got the fit. No fit. It ain't that, dog. I've been in New Orleans, bro. You got me to see it. I figured you was going to come around. Yeah. I don't have it right now. I know you got it. I don't have it on me, dog. Right now. I don't have the money on me, bro. I'm going to get to you. Let me just go do this. I'll be right back. What are you doing? Say, what are you doing? I'm gonna listen to you come back with that money, right? You real serious like that? Am I serious? Yo, is you serious, dog? Hey, you got to be kidding me, dog. 50. Yo, 50. He took my wheel.
Another short-lived bounty in Fofty law comes courtesy of professional boxer Adrien Pascal, who apparently borrowed money from 50 Cent for training camp, which 50 once again claimed he gon' need by Monday.
I need my money, I told you. I got the bill, I got your money on Monday. Don't worry, I got it. Is there a reason? I don't know.
Yo, so my man Gene won both titles last night. He won 2 titles. And I'm happy because you owe me a little something, so you can give me that little something that he owed me. That, you know what I'm saying? I was a little shaky for a little while, but now I feel like I got that. He got that, so he can get it to me. So, you know, Gene, you know, you can get that over to me. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, Fofty would end up taking a logistical L in this case, as when Gene turned up to his office on Monday to give that money back, 50 was nowhere to be seen, and so Gene decided to keep it as a gift, taking it home with him, along with a couple of free bottles courtesy of Fofty.
Yo, 50, man, where you at? I told you by Monday I got your money. I'm here. I'm a man of my word. I got your stack, your money with Monday, but where you at? And you know what, 50, I thought about it. That money that you gave me for my training camp was a gift. That was training expenses. That was a gift, man. And now you want the money back? What the fuck, man? Yo, I ain't give you shit. You know what? I'm taking these 2, alright? Chemin du roi. Muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup, 50. Alright, we out, guys. Fuck that nigga, man. Nigga crazy.
And Gene wasn't even done there, because he even continued to clap back at Fofty in another social media post, which I unfortunately can't play because it's got one of 50's copyrighted songs in the background. But basically, he just reiterates that the money is a gift and that he's going to be drinking that champagne that he stole from Fofty's office and counting his money. 50 and everybody's favourite African comedian Michael Blackson have been friends for quite some time. In fact, 50 was seen throwing money in his face at the club as early as 2017. Now, Blackson had been partying with Fifth at Hollywood's AOD nightclub, and apparently whilst in the club, he ended up drunkenly borrowing a couple of stacks and a couple of bottles of Ace of Spades from 50. The next day, 50 shared a Twitter clip of him in his bed, waking up and remembering that Blackson borrowed a little something.
Yo, so I'm just waking up, right? Yo, I was just thinking about it. That nigga Michael Blackson owed me money. Yeah, we was in AODs, and champagne, she came over, it was live, it was popping. You know, it ain't never about no champagne. We just having a good time with that. But this girl's in front of him. The dancer's there. She like twerking for him. He all into it and shit. Then I'm like, yo, he ain't get no money. He just didn't throw no money to the girls. He just was like, oh, I'm Michael Blackson. What you mean? Yeah, I threw some money, so I gave him some money. And he looked at it, he was like, and he just kept the money. He kept partying. So I want my money, Mike.
Now, Blackson reposted this and replied, saying that he'd spent all of 50's money on that stripper bitch with a fat ass that promised to swallow his kids, and suggesting that after parking expenses, he only had $83 left, which he kindly offered to cash out to Fofty by Monday, before pointing out that he'd cancelled his subscription to Stars, as well as bringing everybody's attention to the fact that 50 Cent waking up in bed wearing a hoodie is mad sus, and finally signing off by saying that 50 Cent has a TI haircut. Gotta say, that is a world-class caption. Fofty's gonna need a few more jewels in his comedy infinity glove to clap back at that one. But before Fofty could even leave a comment, Michael Blackson went back to back on Fofty like Drake did to Snitch and Meek Mill. Blackson dropped an explosive clap back whilst wearing a shiny suit in the men's room, saying that Fofty's money should be a gift and not a loan. This clip was brilliant. It speaks for itself. Just watch it. Here you go.
50 Cent, fuck you. No disrespect or due respect, I have no respect. When I'm done with you, we'll find out who really got the power. Don't matter how much money you have, you'll always be 50 Cent. I'm shooting this video next to a toilet because you are full of shit. I thought you was my nigga. I came to the strip club to show love. You dap me, I dap you. We popping bottles. You give me 2 bottles of Ace in Space. You give me some money, I throw on the stripper that told me she's going to swallow my children through her throat. 4 days later, you want money back. The average nigga has 3 days to request his money back, or is no longer a loan. It is a gift. Now you're telling niggas I can't read, but I can count, so what's the square root of fuck you? For my New York niggas, they don't understand me, let me talk in New York term. Dead ass B, word to the mother, son, 50 you're full of shit, facts. I know you've been here with a few shells, but you don't walk with no limp. But you talk with a limp. Fuck you.
Wow. Well, Fofty clearly wasn't fazed by this because he reposted Blackson's clip, kindly reminding Mike that he wanted his money by Monday.
And I'm gonna need the money by Monday.
And well, like Michael Jackson in that Pepsi ad where they set his head ablaze, Michael Blackson was beginning to feel the heat of Fofty's loan sharkery. And so at this point he extended an olive branch on Twitter, reaching out to Fofty and asking him for an extension, though he didn't necessarily help his case by referring to him as 2 quarters. And well, this clearly fell on deaf ears, and before long, Fofty was dispatching goons to Michael Blackson's tour bus as if he had a 2-star wanted level.
Mike, Maniga, yes.
How's the food?
Food's good.
How's the land?
Land is good.
How's the chick?
Chicken is good.
How's the drink?
The drink is good. Okay.
You know why I'm here, right, Mike?
Where you here?
I'm here to get that money for 50.
I'll get up a bit, please.
No.
I asked for extension. I need a payment plate.
It's not gonna work, man.
I have $3 right now.
It's not gonna work.
It's
not enough.
Red Snow Bunny.
Cut that camera off.
Please leave it on. I need evidence.
Cut that camera off.
You guys gonna kill me. I need evidence. Please don't leave it.
And from there, Fofty continued to send yet more waves of goons as he shared a video of a monster of a man pulling up on Blackson when he was trying to enjoy his meal.
Hey Mike, who's your friend?
You know what it is, man. I'm sorry. What money is, bro? What money, boy? If I need a girl sent. 50 Cent sent you too? Yeah. Following it everywhere. Really? Jesus Christ, bro. How many big niggas you know? Come on, bro. You smart.
Do you accept cash app?
I'm on a payment plan. I have $5 right now. Please, my niggas. Come on, bro. We out. Come on. Come on.
Take him with you.
Chinese was spread.
You can't tell 50 Cent.
Now, Blackson actually replied to this, telling 50 Cent to stop sending big dudes to come and collect, also suggesting that he'd beefed up security in a clip where he passed on his debt like a hot potato to his new security.
What up, man? Tell 50 Cent you don't owe no money, man. You know what I mean? I got to stay. Tell 50 you don't owe 50, man. You got
Excuse me, nigga.
I got your back.
Excuse me, black nigga. Motherfucker, get out the way.
You're 50. You're 50, man. I know people owe you a lot of money, but Michael Blackson don't owe you, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, black ass nigga. Yeah, I'm not, that nigga owe you now 50.
Now, of course, Michael Blackson was not all about that smoke because he later ran into Fofty on the red carpet and paid him his debt in full.
I got the money, 50. I'm bringing the money. For the record, I'm gonna pay him his money I owe him. I'm paying 50 Cent the money I owe him. I no longer owe this motherfucker. Get this money. I don't owe you no more.
And fortunately, for the sake of his own long-term health, as of January 2020, Michael Blackson had given 50 Cent back all of the money he owes, and it looked like they were working together on new projects. So they clearly did make up, and as recently as March 2020, they were appearing on IG Live together, though Blackson had clearly not learnt his lesson because obviously his finances were hurting from this ongoing health crisis. And so rather foolishly, he asked 50 Cent for a bridge loan until his virus check comes in.
Yo, I need to borrow some money, man. Listen, till I get my virus check. Listen, whatever you need, I can get over to you.
With this going down in a now infamous video, with Fofty showing off $500,000 in cash, giving you an idea of what you could borrow.
Oh yes, that would do.
Along with the Draco to give you an idea of what you're looking at if you don't pay it back.
If they act crazy, Mike, you already know.
Michael, don't do it. T from BMF, if you don't know, is Big Meech, head honcho of BMF's older brother. And apparently, as of 2020, he had just got home from jail. A happy coincidence, seeing as 50 Cent is also producing a series about BMF. And since T's arrival home, Fofty decided to put his skills to good use, hitting social media to bounty hunt on T's behalf. And so, as you might have seen on social media, he has been going at rappers' necks over historical unpaid debts relating to BMF. One example of which was the snowman himself, Jeezy, who Fofty came out swinging for by posting a pic of Jeezy on social media saying, "How you screaming BMF?" but not showing love to T now he's home from jail. Well, clearly this strong-arming had worked because 50 Cent subsequently came out to say that Jeezy had indeed checked in with T. And apparently, he'd even passed on the message to Puffy. In fact, since T came out of jail, he'd even posted a picture of his own with Diddy, potentially hinting that there may be some unfinished business between these two. Followed by Fofty coming out to say specifically that T was home and Diddy owes him money. And well, once again, apparently this did work because it was revealed that they'd had a conversation and squashed things after 50 had applied that pressure. 50 acknowledged this, as well as plugging the fact that he was of course working on a BMF series, which, let's be real, is probably the pretty clear reason why he's even getting involved in this clownery. And frankly, it doesn't seem like it's such a bad idea. I mean, I didn't know he was producing a BMF series until this, and maybe neither did you. You're welcome, Fofty. But of course, his final BMF public shaming was Eif Gotti, one of 50's most long-standing ops all the way back from the days when he was beefing with Ja Rule and Murder Stink. 50 claimed off the bat that Eif Gotti owed a $1,200 debt in the form of his stimulus check, roasting Eif Gotti by posting a picture of his fat dad bod and saying that he owes $1,200 to T. I mean, just look at that picture. Eif's out here looking like blubber ink. Of course, Fofty continues to clown Eif for owing money to BMF, and as of May 2020, Fofty is even claiming that Eif indeed checked in following the application of said pressure. But setting aside BMF for a moment, on a personal level, there's only one particular 50 Cent bounty that really has me quaking in my boots. As Fofty revealed on Instagram, some random guy came up to him and gave him $20. Turns out, this was to repay a debt that Fofty didn't even know he was owed, apparently accrued when this person had stolen one of his CDs back in the 5th grade.
Yo, so check it out. Why nigga came in the store and gave me this $20 right here, right? He said, here, take it. $20. And said, I stole your CD in 5th grade. Right. Yo, listen, my cousin, the only person who knew about it was my cousin. But this bitch on some bullshit, so I know she gonna go left on me. I don't need you putting me all over your Instagram or anything. This shit is wild. This shit is wild. 50.
And you know what? Come to think of it, when I was a boy, a good 16 years ago, I was an enormous 50 Cent fan. But the thing is, I couldn't always make it to the store. And of course, being the young hacker dude that I am, I distinctly remember using LimeWire to torrent a copy of 50 Cent's The Massacre album. An album which to this day still sells for £6.99, which I guess kind of means, oh no, 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 no! Well, Fofty, if you want it, you're gonna have to come and get it. But if I see ya, I'ma do the dash. I'm gonna escape Fofty. Fofty ain't gonna get me. Fofty ain't shit. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure that you hit subscribe and make sure that you hit that bell and turn on all notifications so you get notified every single time I upload. Shout out Fofty for giving us some hilarious jokes. If you're watching this, Fofty, you need to hit me up. Give me one of those movie checks, baby. I need a little series on Stars or something, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, hopefully Fofty doesn't take this one down. I really enjoyed researching all of the shenanigans that he got up to, and I hope everybody enjoyed watching it. Also want to give a humongous shout out to the Patreon gang for their ongoing support. It means the world to me and gives me the confidence to know that I've got your support behind me in the long run. So shout out to Max Hathaway 2000, Trauma Hound, Dujuan Jones, Ban Johnson, Jay, Senjon Gahara, Ryder, Pamela Vigil, Brandon Wedlow. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. If I didn't get that right, Brandon, hit me up and tell me how to do it properly. Chris, Sebastian Andres Laredo, Sean Anderson, Vampires for Hire, Roberto Rojas, Mathis Martin, Deshaun Campbell, Tuxedo May $K. No, I know it's Mask, I'm playing with you. Eric Prince Nice and more. Eric Fredrickson, Antonio Groza, Bash the Prince, Chris J, Claire Audion, DJ Fred 100, Griffin Fuller, Henry Bryan, Jaden Cho, Jason Wyman, Javier Gonzalez, Jessica Simmons, Kizzlebot, Naraj Shukla, Otaku VS, new supporter Harry Vagina. Thought you could pull a fast one on me, didn't you? As always, Penis Bag, Muck Penis Face. Yeah, I said it. Pyromancer, Vivi, Wilson Psychedelic, as well as all of the other names you see on screen right now. Thank you so much. You are the gang gang. I appreciate you no end. And if you are looking to support the channel too, head on over to patreon.com/TrapLawRoss, where you can support the channel, get your name in the video, and get access to all of the past Traplaw merchandise, which is no longer available publicly at traplaw.com in the store. So thank you so much for watching this video, and more importantly, thank you so much to Keeps for keeping my luscious locks on my head and for sponsoring this video. So make sure you go and support Keeps and show some love to them by clicking that link in description, baby. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.